Okay, so let me talk about some of the errors that I found in your concept journal. So you need to write these down on your concept journal that you got back. So for the next one, you can make changes. Okay? Here are the things that I found errors in that I counted points off for. One, your concept, okay, on your concept journal, many of you are writing down a topic, not a concept. So remember when we went back to Leonard Pitts, and Leonard Pitts, we identified child abuse as the topic. That is the topic, not the concept. Okay, so your concept has to be abstract, like from your page 14 of your yellow pages, the abstract ideas, the ones that we use for our thesis statements. Okay, so that needs to be clear. All right, next, your MLA format. You cannot italicize your handwriting. Therefore, your magazine title needs to be what? Underlined. Okay? The second line, if your MLA format, your citation goes to a second line, is indented 5 spaces. Okay? It cannot be written and then kind of go down the side of the page because you ran out of room. You just go to the next line and indent, even with your handwriting. Okay? For your claim, your assignment over the weekend should have helped to clarify what a claim is. Many of you just wrote down facts and not claims. Okay? So you need to make sure that you are actually identifying an arguable claim. Okay? Yes?
So is a claim kind of like an assertion?
Kind of. The claim is the overall purpose and what they're trying to state. You probably won't find that word for word in your document. You have to pull it kind of like you did for the claim assignment we did this weekend or for Frederick Douglass. Okay? So it has to be arguable. It's not a fact. Okay? Next, the summary. The summary needs to be detailed like I gave you. I didn't give you 2 or 3 sentences. I gave you a full paragraph. And your summaries have to have pieces of evidence within them. Okay? That was on the hint sheet. That was on the example. That was everywhere. Looking at the things that evaluating what the article does well and what it does not do well. All right? You need to look at specifics. You cannot just generally say it has good statistics. You are not evaluating their argument if you are just saying they have good statistics, okay? You are trying to evaluate the argument. So once you make a clear claim, you will be able to clearly identify what they are doing well to support that claim. Don't just say they give good examples, okay? That doesn't show me that you read. Show me, be specific about how their examples support their claim, okay? Same thing for what they are lacking. Don't just say they are biased. Tell me how they are biased. Tell me what facts they are missing that would have helped to make that article stronger or help you to better understand the issue at hand, okay? Next, the counter argument. These need to be in complete sentences. Starting a sentence with the word that is not a complete sentence. It means you're just answering a question. Okay? It needs to be a clear counter argument where you are actually stating what the other side would say and maybe providing a little bit of evidence with it. Not that you have to do additional research, but look at the evidence you were given in the article and what can you propose for the other side. Okay? Finally, entering the conversation, this needs to be, again, more than 2 or 3 sentences. Okay? You need to have a conversation with me about this article. This is why I say to choose articles that you are not familiar with, because then you'll have a conversation. What did you know before? What did you learn during? What are you looking at now? How has it affected your opinion? How has your opinion changed? How have you formed an opinion from the article itself? Okay? So those things all need to be done and be done well. This is an easy grade, right? That you should be getting a free 100 quiz grade on, basically. Okay? Your next concept journal is due Friday. This Friday. Okay? So what I would do is this. If you have not found a place in your house to save your upfronts, I would find a place. Okay? Once you get a concept journal back that has been graded, put it inside that upfront journal and then file it away. in the spring, when we start kind of preparing for or trying to cram data into our heads for our argument essays, you will be able to pull these concept journals out from the magazines and be able to remember what it is that you wrote about. Okay? All right, good for the concept journal. This is due on Friday. All right, handwritten. I have gone online and changed the spacing. I know the spacing for the summary was a little short, so I extended it a little bit, but it's still on one page. So if you want to print mine out again, I changed it so that you have a little bit more room on there to handwrite it. Good? Concept journals? Questions? Take advantage of them. They are easy grades, and we're about to rock and roll and blow your mind. Okay? Okay. So put that away, and now let's look at this document. All right, so if you're looking at the Synthesis Project 2014, so this is kind of what I've been talking to you about a little bit on and off over the last couple of weeks, all right? So this is our research project that we're going to have over the next 3 quarters. You're going to have little bits and pieces due. The final synthesis paper that you will write will be turned in before our exam. And then after our exam, you guys are going to write a reflection of what you've learned, and what we're thinking is you're going to do a formal presentation in front of students, in front of teachers, in front of staff, in front of parents, in front of the community, everybody, okay? So that's kind of the end product, but we don't want to freak you out with all that yet, okay? So what you have in front of you is an orange piece of paper, okay? What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to give you all the parts of the research assignment on orange or colored paper at least, so that you can keep track of where it is, okay? We're giving you little by little so that we don't blow your mind, okay? Step number 1, if you look on there, is going to be to figure out what people value, okay? Our guiding question for the process is, what does America value? Notice the I in there is capitalized, kind of cheesy, but what we're trying to look at is, how do you fit within America, right? So that's kind of our guiding principle, all right? So the very first thing you have to do is, we want you to create a survey to survey people in your life and see what they value, okay? So notice, we are going to walk you through how to gain Google access. Every McKinney ISD student has a Gmail account associated with McKinney ISD, okay? You may have a Gmail account outside of this. You may have another email account outside of this. I don't care. I need you to create your McKinney ISD Gmail account, okay? Because that way, if I email you, it's not creepy that I'm emailing your personal email. I'm actually contacting you through your school email address, okay? So notice that we have on there a video that Mrs. Frink created for us on how to create your Gmail account. I put that link up online under today, okay? Then I need you to go create your Google account, all right? Then I need you to watch, and I put this video up, I need you to watch the video on how to create a Google form. And then you're going to create a Google form. A Google form is like the document I sent to you to figure out what t-shirt size you wanted. Okay? Very easy, right? Very easy for y'all to fill out. Okay? So you're going to create one of those. When you get those documents back, it comes to you in an Excel spreadsheet, so you can manipulate the data and look at it however you want. Okay? So here is the survey that you are going to create the Google form for. All right? Your survey will include, it says 3 questions, write down 5. And you need to form the following ideas into questions, all right? So question number 1 is, you need to ask their gender. Are they male or are they female? Question number 2, you need to ask their age. Question number 3, you need to rank values from least important to most important. Now what you're going to have to do is, you yourself are going to have to choose 5 or 6 values to list out for them and have them rank those values, okay? So take some values that you are interested in looking at and put those on there, right? power, leadership, safety, do it. Honesty, right? Religion, right? Individuality. List those. Whatever it is that you feel your top 5 or 6 that you are interested in, right? And list those. Now on here, you're going to ask them to rank it. So you're going to have to tell them how to rank it. Rank your top value number 1, your bottom value number 6, and every number in between, rank them, right? 1 being the thing you value most, 6 being the thing you value the least. Does that make sense? But you're going to have to tell them that on your survey. So those of you that are not writing this down, you might want to write this down. Then question number 4, you're going to ask them, what did they rank as their least important value and why? And then question number 5, what did they rank as their most important value and why? Okay. So then you have to send it out to at least 10 people. And here are the minimum numbers you have to get, okay? 4 peers, 2 teachers, not me, 2 family members, and 2 adults outside of your immediate family or school. So think family, friends, neighbors, people your parents work with, right? Maybe adults you work with, right? So you want to send that survey out to them. Now, just like how I sent out to you for the t-shirt survey, you can create a bit.ly address for it. So if you just go to bit.ly, bit.ly, you can create a short web address like I sent you, right? I think ours was like RAA shirts, right? So you can tell your friends, go to bit.ly/raw shirts or my survey, and they can take the survey. If you want to create a QR code for it, you can create a QR code link to send out. You can copy and paste the link and send out an email, put it on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, right? Just know that if you put it out on Facebook, you're going to have some of those fools that screw up your results, right? Because they're going to be idiots and go in there and fill out whatever they want, right? Okay. So that's a way to get out your survey, okay? Now, with that in mind, you can't just send somebody a link and go, hey, fill out this survey, because asking somebody what they value is very personal, okay? So you need to give them a purpose. So you need to say, you know, if it's a neighbor or a friend or even a family member, you need to say, you know, hey, this is Kristen. In my AP Language and Composition class, we are doing a research project over the next 3 quarters, and we are researching what does America value. You know, I would appreciate if you would take time to fill out this survey. You will stay anonymous, but it will help me to clearly define what value I want to research, right? This survey should take you 5 minutes tops, right? So you at least have to tell them what they're doing, right? I've had people in other classes ask if they can add questions. You definitely can add questions if you want to. What I would not ask is I would not ask their name. And I wouldn't ask any extremely personal questions, right? I don't think I have to go any further than that. Okay, how many of y'all in stats? Okay, so if you're in stats, I think y'all just covered recently like how to create a good survey, like what makes a good survey. So you can go to your stats teachers and talk to them and show them the survey and see what you can add to it to make it a little bit better for your benefit. If you don't have stats, you can go to those stats teachers or go to your math teachers and ask them, like, what can I add to this survey to help make it a little bit better for me or the results better? Okay, does that make sense to y'all? Questions for those? Okay, so your next step for that would be once the surveys are completed, type a 1-page reflection of your findings and use the results from the survey in order to help you discover what value you will focus on. Okay, how do you feel the results relate to you? How did you discover something you value most? Be sure to address your value and turn in a copy of your survey results as well. Okay, that is due next Monday. Notice your due date on there is November 3rd. That's next Monday. Okay, So next Monday, you will print out your survey results for me. You get it in an Excel spreadsheet. You'll print those out. You'll bring me in your reflection. You'll turn in those 2 things for a grade. Okay? Then the following Monday, you will then need to do a little research and find 2 articles, one pro, one con, or one showing one side of the issue or your value and one showing the opposing viewpoint of your value. And you'll need to complete a concept journal for that, for each one. Does that make sense? Notice that it says print, read, and annotate 2 articles. Okay? Make sure that when you are finding articles that they are in a valuable, reputable source, right? If you need help finding quality articles, Mrs. Frink in the library knows what we're doing, so feel free to go by and chat with them. You know, all the online databases that we have access to would be a good place to use as well. As long as you're using a reputable source, I'm okay. Okay? If you find a web page that you find an interesting article, go to the contact us or about us, and if it's Joe Schmo on a cat farm in Wyoming, then he may not be your best source to use as an article. Okay? Questions? Yes?
Is like an article based on that, based on
Your value.
values, like if it was honesty?
At this point, after your survey, you're going to try to narrow down what survey or what value you want to kind of hone in on. So you're really kind of looking at what everybody else does and see if you agree with them or see if it's going to help to kind of guide you to one value. Okay? Now we're saying right now that you're going to go in and you're going to start with one value, but we may get into this and you may ditch that value and say that all your evidence is kind of pointing to another value. That's fine. Okay? So you're not like cemented down to the value that you find. Ultimately, what we want to do is you're going to choose here in a couple of weeks a nonfiction book. And what I want you to choose, I want you to choose a nonfiction book of something that you enjoy, something that is about you, something about your future. So if you want to get into fashion, find a book about fashion. If you want to get into entertainment, find a book that talks about entertainment. I'm a foodie. I would probably find a nonfiction book about like a famous chef, right? So you find something that you want to read, and then you will use what they have in there and try to tie what they're saying into your value and into your pieces of evidence, right? Does that make sense to y'all? It'll make sense a little bit more once we kind of dig through this. You are our guinea pigs. So this is the first time we've done the project, okay? So we know there's going to be bumps and bruises. So what we need from you guys is to kind of let us know what parts you're struggling with, what questions you have, so that we can clarify it for everybody. Okay, what we're looking at doing is probably creating like a discussion board for all our AP students to where I can say, okay, steps 1 and 2, right? And then you can go into that discussion board and you can post your questions. And we can kind of help guide you and you can see what other questions people are asking so that you can see what other things that people are struggling with. Does that make sense? So that will be coming. I'm also going to create, I'm in the process now of creating a page, kind of like our Q1 and Q2 page that will just be for our synthesis project. So you can find all of the documents in one place. We have them linked in the syllabus right now, but we think it'll be easier for you to find everything that you need in one place. So we're going to put it in one page. Okay. So I'm kind of in the process of creating that as we go right now. Good. Questions? Now listen, if you can't manage your time, you're going to drown between now and especially Thanksgiving. Because think of what we're doing. Right now, by Thursday, you have a study guide for Frederick Douglass due. Tomorrow, I'm giving you answers to the APMC. So next Monday, you'll have your APMC analysis due. Over the weekend, you need to complete the survey and your reflection on it. And then you have your concept journal that's due on Friday. There's 4 things that we're working on simultaneously. Okay? Now, understanding that, we are tweaking what we have in our plan. Okay? Like next week we had another APMC due. We're going to take that out. We're going to give you a work day for Frederick Douglass. Okay? So we're going to tweak and we're going to give you some days in class. Today we're going to work on the Christopher Reeve assignment. Tomorrow in class, even though we have a pep rally, will be a Frederick Douglass work day. So if you want to go to the pep rally, you can go to the pep rally. Or you can find your friends and work on, oh, not tomorrow, Thursday. So nix that. Tomorrow will be a Frederick Douglass work day. Thursday, though, for y'all, here's where your conflict comes in. That Christopher Reeve assignment is due Thursday. So you're going to have today to work on it, and everybody else will have Thursday to work on it. Okay? That assignment shouldn't take you too long. All right? But that'll be due on Thursday. So when y'all walk in, it's due at the end of the class on Thursday. So y'all decide. You know, where if y'all need that extra night for 6th period to have it due so you can finish it on Friday, you can finish it Thursday night and bring it in Friday. But I also know there's a football game Thursday night. Okay? So you're going to have to kind of decide what your priorities in the next couple of days. Okay? I don't see this homework taking you much longer. This assignment, if you start today, shouldn't take you more than about probably 30 additional minutes after today. Okay? The concept journal shouldn't take you more than 30, 40 minutes. Right? So you can get all that done tonight if you want and be ahead of the game for the rest of the week. Does that make sense? You're going to have to kind of lay out your assignments. That's why you need an agenda if you do not have an agenda. Yes? Questions?
Okay, so the project.
Yes.
When you said like